A while ago, someone asked me how I make nails for friends, so today I'm showing exactly how I make a custom set from start to finish. There's multiple ways you can get your friend or family member's size, but the easiest way in my opinion is the coin method, especially if you don't have easy access to this friend, like if they live somewhere else out of state or if you just can't see them in person. This is the best method. Otherwise, I would just size them straight up with your nails. But all you have to do is ask them to send a picture of their hand with a quarter next to them or any other coin that you have yourself, and then line up the coin on the photo with your coin that you have in person. This method isn't 100% perfect because this does depend how good of quality that the photo is, but in my experience, this method has been pretty accurate. So the way you do this is you just go nail by nail until you find the right fit. The way you can tell if it's the right fit is if it fits the sidewalls. If the nail is slightly too small, it's best to size up because it's better for it to be too big than too small, because they can always file it down, or you can even file it down to fit the nail better, but you can't add more nail. Also, I feel like not many people know this or think about this, but one hand is not going to be the same size as the other hand. Like with my friend right here, her left hand had smaller fingers than her right hand. So you can't just measure one hand, you have to measure all 10 fingers. Something I highly recommend is writing down your friend's sizes for later, just in case you mess up a nail and you forget what size it was, or if you want to make them nails in the future as a complete surprise, you already have their sizes. One thing you're definitely going to need is nail stands. Don't mind how crusty mine look, they get the job done. But you can apply the nails onto these stands either by using Fun Tack or glue tabs. I recommend glue tabs because they're just easier, and the Fun Tack you have to scrape off the nail once you take them off. So you're just gonna apply all of your nails onto the stand. Okay, so a while ago I posted this on my story, and I was basically just saying if anybody wanted to purchase this set, I would give them a discount because I really wanted to recreate it. And she happened to slide up and said that she wanted it, which is so perfect because she also has this bunny keychain on her purse, which is so adorable and it matches the set, so it was like destiny. The first thing I had to tackle was figuring out what base color to do for her, and the way I did this was looking at her picture that she sent of her hand, and I paid attention to her nail beds. They're kind of pinkish brown, so I try to look for similar colors to match that color because I feel like bases that match your nail beds are the best base colors. It was in between this color and this one. Believe me, they look way closer in person. I think the flash was just doing them dirty, but I ended up going with this color. Now, once I figured that out, the next color I had to find was this baby pink color. I ended up doing a custom color with these two and a white. So now that I have all of my colors down, I can finally start actually making the set. I start off by just adding my base Frenchies to all of the nails. Okay, I finished adding a double base layer for all of my French tips, and I'm going to do the tip part of the French tip with the baby pink that I mixed together. Okay, now that all of my base layers are complete on all 10 of my nails, I can start sculpting. Now, here's a little disclaimer. If you're unaware, apparently if you touch gel directly with your skin, there's a risk that you can get an allergy to the gel. And I think this happens when you have like the gel on your skin and you accidentally cure on your skin. I think that's what causes it. I could be wrong. I haven't done the research myself. I'm just going off of what I've heard. So if you don't want to get that allergy, I suggest wearing gloves, unlike me in this video. But anyways, I'm going to start sculpting the bunny's ears. I like to start it off as a cylinder and then cutting it in half so I get the 2 equal balls. And then I roll one edge of the ball so it becomes this kind of teardrop shape. And then I just place them onto the nail. And using my silicone tool, I kind of hollow it out a little bit so it looks like a bunny ear. Okay, the next section of the bunny I'm working on is the body. And I am being very intentional with the order of the body parts that I'm making because they overlap each other in certain ways. Like, for example, you see the head over the body, you don't see the body over the head, so you want to make the body first. But I just made a circular little glob and then I just started shaping it into kind of like a cylinder that is like a little fatter at the bottom using my silicone tool. I don't know how I didn't record this part, but I did make the head. I just did a round ball and placed it on there, obviously. And then I kind of just tapped around it to make it blend and smooth out into the rest of the bunny. And for the feet, I kind of did the same thing as the ears. I made a cylinder and cut it half so I could have 2 equal balls so that the feet were like equal size. And I just plopped a ball on to one side until I had it in the shape that I wanted, and then I did the same thing with the other foot. For the heart on the bunny, excuse the noise in the background, my roommate is doing something, I don't know, but for the heart, I just kind of did a dent at the top in the middle, and then I straightened out the edges to come to a point at the bottom so it can start to look like a heart. And I just kept repeating that and shaping it and softening it with my finger until I was happy with how it looked. And then once again, to make sure that the arms were the same size, you already know the method I do for that, but I also did a teardrop shape again for the arms, and I put them in their respective places, and I made sure they were like kind of overlapping the heart so it looked like it was holding the heart. Okay, so we're done sculpting the bunny. The next thing I have to sculpt is the candy heart. So I'm just placing a little blob down there, and I'm using the same method for the heart that the bunny was holding to create this heart. Okay, now all the sculpting for this set is done, so I can start finally painting. I'm gonna go in with soft pink from Blue Sky and paint the entire bunny in this color for one layer. while that's curing, I'm going to paint the heart using Blue Sky Hollywood Red Carpet. Okay, now I'm going to do another layer on the bunny, except I'm using Mushroom White from Blue Sky. And I'm doing this because I wanted to try and soften the white a little bit, because my friend's bunny on her keychain, it is white, but it's not like a pure bright snow kind of white. It's kind of muted, so that's why I did that. And once again, I just painted the entire bunny in this color. And once that cured, I painted the heart the same red color as the other heart. For the nose of the bunny, I used the same pink that I mixed for the French tips, and I just kind of made a little triangle shape. For the eyes, I just made one little dot using my nail art brush. Now, I did notice that her bunny keychain has like a little frown, so I wanted to try and put that on my bunny, but I wasn't so sure about it because it just looks so sad. And I tried like 2 other ways to make it, and she still looked so sad, so I was like, never mind, I'll just leave the nose. Now, the rest of the set, I could do a freestyle because she only like knew about those 2 designs, and the rest of it, she said, was up to me. I never get to use these hearts, and I have so many of them, so I thought now would be the perfect time to use them, especially because it like matches the other hearts on the 2 nails. The one issue I have with these hearts though is that they can never lay flat on the nail. If you've used these before, you know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to try to use my foil glue for the hearts to see if that made it better. The next thing I wanted to start adding was pearls, specifically a heart shape made of pearls. And these charms are extremely notorious for like snagging on your hair and all of that. And obviously I don't want her to like go through that experience because that's really annoying. So using my rhinestone glue, I just put a bunch of glue under it and around it so that there would be less like surface area for your hair to snag on the nail. And the idea is hopefully that your like hair will just like go smoothly past it, because I've had like giant charms like the bunny and stuff like that's not gonna snag on your hair because it's like smooth. There's no like angular like crevices for your hair to get stuck under. Your hair is not gonna get stuck on that, but these kind of charms it will. So I'm just trying to make it as smooth and like globby as possible without making it ugly. Okay, the last thing I'm going to be adding is actual pearls, like circular pearls of different sizes. So I'm just going to put like dots of glue wherever I want them to go. It's going to be like in like empty spaces that I think need some more to it. And then I'm just going to plop the pearl on there and cure it. Once I was done laying down all of the pearls, I could finally add the lettering to the Candy Sweetheart. And I'm doing this with my most opaque white so I don't have to do too many layers. I did have to end up doing it off camera because doing this on camera is just so difficult, but here's some of it. Last minute, I also decided to make these little hearts 3D. I just think it adds a little bit more, plus it's fun like feeling the texture. Like personally, I love to run my hands over like texture on my nails. And I just achieved this by adding like more globs of top coat over the hearts. Since the set is finally done, it's time for me to take the nails off of the nail stand. Now it's time to put the nails into their container. I'm using this double-sided tape to put the nails into the container. I'm all done putting the nails in its box, so the next step is to get the prep kit ready. If you're gifting a nail set to someone, you might want to make sure that they have all of the prepping materials in order to put the nails on, otherwise they're kind of useless. Everything I give my customers consists of alcohol prep pads, a nail buffer, a cuticle stick, liquid nail glue, glue tabs, and my business card. And I put all of those in this little holographic baggie. Since I'm not shipping this out to her, I'm just handing it to her in person. I'm putting everything in this see-through baggie. So it's just going to include the prep kit I just made and of course the nails. And that is pretty much it. If you want to see any more tutorials from me, please let me know. And if you'd like to order a custom set, all of my information is in the description.